The structural bull run in global grid modernization just hit its first major roadblock. Shares of dominant power equipment players like GE Vernova, Siemens Energy, and Hitachi Energy plunged up to 10% in a sudden, high-volume market sell-off. For months, institutional capital poured into this space, treating electrical transmission assets as the ultimate pick-and-shovel play for the artificial intelligence boom. But this sharp correction is forcing a major reassessment. Smart money is asking whether we have reached peak backlog valuation, or if this is simply a temporary pause in a multi-decade structural expansion. Let's look at the underlying mechanics driving this price disruption. To understand this market shock, we have to look at the structural moats of these massive businesses. Companies like GE Vernova and Siemens Energy operate in an oligopolistic market. They supply high-voltage direct current systems, giant transformers, and complex switchgear. These are not commodity products. They are highly engineered, capital-intensive machines that require specialized technical expertise to manufacture. This creates an incredibly high barrier to entry. For years, utilities have had no choice but to wait in line, giving these equipment giants massive pricing power and a seemingly bulletproof market position. This moat has shielded their margins from standard economic cyclicality. But that is only part of the story. The true strength of companies like Hitachi and Siemens Energy lies in their massive, multi-year service backlogs. When a utility installs a massive offshore wind connection or a utility-scale substation, they sign decades-long maintenance contracts. This recurring revenue stream provides incredible cash flow visibility. It transforms these capital equipment stocks from highly cyclical manufacturing plays into high-margin, utility-like cash cows. This long-term revenue safety net is why institutional portfolio managers have heavily weighted these assets, seeking insulation against broader macroeconomic slowdowns. The stability of these long-term cash flows remains a key pillar of their investment appeal. Here is where the margin metrics become interesting. When we look at recent quarterly performance, top-line growth across the sector remains incredibly strong. GE Vernova and Siemens Energy have reported impressive double-digit revenue expansions, fueled by relentless global demand. However, underneath the surface, margin expansion is beginning to encounter friction. Labor shortages in specialized engineering fields are driving up execution costs. At the same time, factory floor utilization is running at near maximum capacity. This operational strain means that even as revenue climbs, the cost of scaling up production to meet aggressive delivery schedules is starting to eat into anticipated profitability. That leads us to a bigger question regarding order bookings growth. For the past several quarters, book-to-bill ratios have hovered at unsustainable levels, often exceeding 2:1. Recent data shows a subtle but important normalization in new orders. While the absolute backlog for players like Hitachi remains near record highs, the rate of new order acceleration is slowing. Institutional analysts are realizing that the peak acceleration phase of the cycle might be behind us. This change is prompting a swift repricing, as the market transitions from valuing these companies based on exponential growth to expecting a more mature, stable execution phase. Now look at how the corporate leaders are reacting. Management commentary reveals a major shift in strategic execution. During recent investor calls, GE Vernova executives emphasized a strategy of selective bidding. Instead of chasing every single utility contract, they are intentionally prioritizing high-margin projects with cleaner risk profiles. This shows that management is fully aware of the operational risks associated with overextending their production capacity. They are choosing long-term price discipline over short-term market share. While this strategy protects the balance sheet, it also means top-line growth figures may begin to moderate in the coming quarters. The next signal comes from management's capital allocation strategies. Both Siemens Energy and Hitachi are committing billions of dollars to expand their global manufacturing footprint. They are building new transformer factories in Europe and North America to resolve severe capacity constraints. But this heavy capital expenditure cycle is a double-edged sword. It solves long-term capacity issues, but it also increases near-term depreciation costs and capital drag. Investors are realizing that the cash flow generated during this boom is being immediately reinvested into expensive physical infrastructure, rather than being returned to shareholders through aggressive buybacks or dividends. This capital expansion is happening within a very unique industry context. The macro tailwinds supporting the electrical grid sector are undeniably massive. Global power grids are aging rapidly, and the integration of renewable energy sources requires complete architectural overhauls. Furthermore, the rapid growth of high-density AI data centers is putting unprecedented strain on existing transmission networks. Utilities are under intense regulatory and public pressure to modernize their infrastructure. This secular trend is expected to persist for the next 2 decades, creating a massive baseline demand that is largely independent of short-term economic recessions. However, we must examine the competitive landscape to see where cracks are appearing. While GE Vernova, Siemens Energy, and Hitachi dominate the high-end market, mid-tier regional manufacturers are aggressively scaling up their capacities. These smaller players are taking on lower voltage projects, slowly eating away at the margins of the dominant players in less complex segments. Furthermore, major utilities are beginning to push back against extreme pricing and long lead times. They are diversifying their supplier bases to avoid being completely dependent on just 2 or 3 massive European and American equipment providers. This subtle shift is altering the industry dynamic. This brings us directly to the structural risks facing the sector. The most pressing vulnerability is the volatile cost of specialized raw materials. Manufacturing high-efficiency transformers requires massive quantities of copper, aluminum, and grain-oriented electrical steel. Prices for these commodities have experienced significant volatility, and passing these rising costs on to utility clients is not always easy. Many legacy contracts lack flexible indexing clauses, meaning the equipment manufacturers must absorb the price hikes. This cost inflation represents a constant, direct threat to gross margins, especially for long-term projects signed several years ago under different inflation regimes. But raw materials are not the only headache. The physical installation of these massive components faces severe bottleneck challenges. Regulatory delays, environmental permit disputes, and grid interconnection queues are stalling projects worldwide. An equipment provider like Hitachi can build a state-of-the-art transformer on schedule, but if the utility cannot secure the permits to build the substation, the project gets delayed. This mismatch between equipment delivery and physical project readiness creates major payment milestone delays. These delivery logjams hurt working capital efficiency and lead to lumpy quarterly cash flows that frustrate institutional investors. That leads us to a critical forward valuation reassessment. Before this recent 10% pullback, power equipment stocks like GE Vernova and Siemens Energy were trading at historic valuation premiums. Multiples had expanded to levels normally reserved for high-growth software businesses, completely ignoring the capital-intensive nature of industrial manufacturing. This sudden market correction is a healthy decompression of that valuation bubble. It represents a transition from speculative pricing to a fundamental reality check. For patient, institutional capital, this repricing creates a much more attractive entry point, allowing portfolio managers to accumulate high-quality structural assets at more reasonable forward earnings multiples. Looking forward, the long-term earnings visibility for these companies remains highly robust. The structural imbalance between limited manufacturing capacity and massive global grid demand is not going away anytime soon. Lead times for heavy electrical equipment still stretch out past 3 years in many regions. This guaranteed backlog provides a highly predictable revenue runway that few other industrial sectors like Hitachi or GE Vernova can match. As long as these companies can maintain operational efficiency and protect their margins, their long-term compounding potential remains fully intact. The structural thesis is bruised by this correction, but certainly not broken. From a tactical perspective, we are placing the major power equipment sector on a strict breakout watch. Specifically, we are monitoring GE Vernova and Siemens Energy as they approach key structural support levels. This recent 10% correction has washed out highly leveraged retail momentum players, bringing valuations closer to historical averages. We are looking for price stabilization and signs of institutional accumulation at these lower levels. If management can demonstrate continued margin resilience in the next round of earnings reports, this pullback could present a compelling opportunity for capital rotation into a secular growth theme. This market correction is a powerful reminder that even the strongest secular trends experience valuation bumps along the way. Navigating these structural shifts requires deep, fundamental research and a long-term perspective. If you want to stay ahead of the institutional flow and master these complex macroeconomic themes, make sure to subscribe to SMoney News. Hit the notification bell so you never miss our deep dive structural analysis. Let us know in the comments how you are positioning your portfolio in this grid modernization supercycle. Thank you for watching, and we will see you in the next analysis.